I'm Matt Plapp.
I'm Shawn Walchef.
And this is Own Their
Phones.
Let's go. Okay, Shawn, I am showing my age. I'm 46, 1999. How old are you?
82, 40. I'm 40 years old.
And you
I'm a fringe millennial.
Fringe millennial. So I'm not sure what the hell I am. I'm actually like between millennial and Gen X, I think.
Okay.
But 1999, when I got into marketing, 98, 99, as a business owner, you had limited opportunities that were free. I mean, it was probably really the dude on the side of the street and maybe the occasional intern doing door hangers. But 2022, you have a lot of opportunity to not only do stuff for free, but to do it on platforms that are highly optimized to get you more eyeballs and ears. And so this comes from a little frustration on my part. We have a client of ours that's not as happy as they could be with our services. And to be quite honest with you, it's not our services. It's like I use this one-legged stool example, that one item that we're doing for this restaurant is one leg. There's other legs involved. And there's legs that they acknowledge, hey, we've ignored, we need to fix. But then one I found today, because we're getting ready for a call on Friday, and I'm coming up with a game plan of, hey, here's my recommendation. Here's the legs we can add with our help. Here's the legs you can add because I can't do them for you. In the last 31 days, the month of October, the entire month of October, not talking about the fact they're not on TikTok, they're not on Instagram Reels, they're not on YouTube Shorts, they're not on YouTube, they're not on LinkedIn. Just Facebook is where they're at. Mainly, they have some Instagram posts, but not Reels and not video. They have 5 Facebook posts. And I'm trying to not be a jerk and be sensitive to the fact that they have a restaurant to run. They have all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, you know what? I too have a business to run. My life is really busy. I somehow have time to record anywhere between 9 to 11 podcasts every week, run the company, film videos, fly across the country. I still do my stuff. What do you say to restaurants, Shawn? Because you're in the trenches, you're an operator, you hustle your ass off, you do some awesome stuff. What do you say about the opportunity given to us on this device in 2022 and on to people that aren't leveraging it?
You know, it's funny. I was talking to my wife last weekend, and we were talking about how terrible I am at doing anything handy around the house. I'm terrible at cars. I'm terrible at fixing anything. You give me a toolbox, I have no idea what to do with it. She makes fun of me because the toilet doesn't work. She ends up fixing it herself, watching on YouTube. She's like, how can you accomplish so much yet be so inept at doing these things around the house? And I told her, the greatest tool that I've ever been given as a business owner and an entrepreneur, it's this iPhone, which came out on June 29th, 2007. The reason I know that date is my son was born 10 years exactly after that. Colleen was born on June 29th, 2017. And I was in the hospital, and I was on this device, Googling what significant events have happened in history on this date. And I realized at that time, when it said that the iPhone came out on June 29th, was that my business was started in 2008, one year after the iPhone was released. So literally our business started where I advertised on the Yellow Pages. I advertised with the Chamber of Commerce. I did newspaper ads. I did mailers. I did flyers. I did community events. You name the type of marketing, I tried all of it. Why? Because we had no one coming into our restaurant. Literally, we were struggling to pay our bills in 2008. Economic recession, difficult part of town, very difficult to be in business. But we struggled for 4 years. During that time, I realized what the internet was. I realized that the internet wasn't a foe, but it was actually a friend. And I needed to start to claim all of these different things that were coming up on Web 1. I'm talking about Web 1. Forget about Web 2 once all of these apps started to get more prolific, like Facebook, like Yelp, like Google Maps, like TikTok now, like LinkedIn, which is now a content platform. All of these tools. What can I do with this tool? You go back to the tools in the garage, I can't do shit. But if you give me this tool, I can create a barbecue media company that gets us in front of 8 million people. Our show is launched with Entrepreneur, Restaurant Influencers, Entrepreneur Magazine. Literally, Entrepreneur Magazine is my partner in business. I'm having the greatest entrepreneurs in the world. I'm connecting with people like Matt Plapp to launch this show, Own Their Phones. We're going out and we're speaking at all the biggest events on stages. Why? It's all because of this.
Yep.
I'm doing what I do in real life. I'm just publishing it online. You know, and back to your example in the beginning, the restaurant owner that's struggling to post. I talk to restaurant owners, business owners, tech companies, huge publicly traded firms, marketing firms, social media agencies all the time about simplifying social media. You know what the problem is? The problem is everyone wants a commercial. We want the perfect content.
Yep.
We're terrified of who we are in real life. Why are we scared? I'm not the shape that I want to be. I'm not. I'm overweight. I want to be skinnier. How do I get skinnier? I have to do the work.
Yep.
But if that's going to prohibit me from publishing content, I'll never publish content.
Yep.
I would never make a podcast episode if I stuttered, if I said something I didn't like. My media team jokes to me because I'm one take. Every take thereafter, I get shittier because I start thinking about what I'm saying.
Yep.
You're laughing because you know it's true too.
Oh, same way.
Give me a script and I'll melt down. I'm not an actor.
Yep.
I'm just who I am in real life. The best thing about me is I don't have to go and act. I'm not acting for the camera. I'm just living my life and publishing it online with this device.
And here's
video is the cheat code. Video is the cheat code because you don't have to edit shit. You're literally just publishing. You can even go live. You don't even have to post publish.
And here's the proof. And I'm going to go to Facebook on my own and just look this up. And here's the proof of how hard people make it and how they screw it up. You've heard of a brand, Papa John's, right?
Of course.
And one day they're going to call me and be like, "Hey, like, quit yelling at us."
No,
but
keep yelling.
Is this 6.7 million? It's funny. They do this all the time. They unpublish their page. So like 6.7 million fans and their page is blank today. I don't get it. They do it all the time. I've seen it like numerous times, but for the typical that I think they delete all their old promotions, what they do, and they restart each month. But their typical post gets like 100 or 200 engagements with 6.7 million fans. And I'm like, okay, you as an independent operator, you're not comfortable creating content. You don't want to get on there and tell the story about your employees' Halloween costumes, about the fun they're going to have with their kids tonight, about working here, about today's specials, about whatever. Look how bad Papa John's is. Like how somebody still has that job, how an agency's probably paid 7 figures a year for that shitty advice is beyond me. But they literally would make 6.7 million followers and fans, and they'll get 100, 200, 300 engagements. They should be getting 100,000 engagements. And that's what really, really gets me. But I think that for whatever reason, entrepreneurs are polarized by that. And it doesn't need perfection because I sucked on video 5, 6, 7 years ago. I sucked on audio. I would have never thought I could knock out podcast after podcast after podcast with zero script. Like my phone, I have a notes section that is literally the podcast I just did today, episode 103, opening a restaurant. That's the entirety of the notes. And like you said, it's one take. Occasionally I'll do a second take when I mess the intro up like 5 seconds, but I never get more than 10 seconds in and stop. It's like, who gives a shit? But you've got to leverage what's given to you. And we've been given Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, Nextdoor. I mean, there's Google, Yelp, TripAdvisor. There's all sorts of LinkedIn. There's all sorts of places. So I implore restaurant owners.
Yes.
Get active. Money. I have this on my desk. Grant Cardone. Money follows attention.
I'm going to give a shout out to Ash L. So Ash is opening up a restaurant in Carlsbad out here in California.
Okay.
He listens and he participates. We have weekly Clubhouse calls that Matt Plapp and myself. So if you're listening to this, please join us on Clubhouse, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Clubhouse is a social media app, but you can go on the app, come on stage, tell us you heard about it on Own Their Phones, Tell us about your restaurant. Tell us about your struggles. Literally, you can have free advice from Matt Plapp and myself, plus all these other digital hospitality leaders. But Ash L, somehow he found his way on Clubhouse. Somehow he came and started telling his story about opening up his restaurant. Somehow Matt and I convinced him to do a selfie video. He posted a selfie video on LinkedIn. It's gotten thousands of views, 36 comments from influential people that live or work in the hospitality business around where he's going to be opening up. And what he said on the show was that he's just worried that he doesn't have the right content to post because he's not open.
Yep.
His video that he posted was him literally surrounded by 2x4s talking to contractors.
Yep.
But that's what the internet wants.
Yep.
Be the show, not the commercial.
Yeah.
Be the show, not the commercial.
I mean, think about it. I'm getting ready to build a house. We bought 7 acres. We're going to build a barn dominium and then a house while we're in the barn dominium. I've never built a house. So I'm watching content online now of people building houses. And so there's restaurant owners out there, the same thing. There's consumers that want to be a part of the process. And that was my opening your restaurant. That was the podcast. And we get calls from restaurant owners that say, hey, I'm 60 days in. I opened a restaurant 60 days ago and stuff's not going how I planned. I'm like, what did you do for the 6 months prior? Well, what do you mean? Did you chronicle it?
Yeah.
Is it on YouTube? Well, no, why? I'm like, I would be on the job site every day talking about what's going to go here, why it's going to go there, your vision, nurture, create, conversate. So awesome. And by the way, Clubhouse is great. It took me a little bit to get on it. It's Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. Eastern for me, 3 p.m. or noon, 10 a.m. for the Pacific, people on the West Coast. But it's great. It's cool to get on there. It's simple because you can be on a walk with your headphones on. There's no video. It's audio. I highly encourage y'all to get on it. Shawn, that wraps up this episode of Own Their
Phones.
See y'all later.
Phones.